because you have no why in what you do. There's no power. There's no belief. They don't believe you. They don't believe you because it doesn't, you can't prove it. The only thing you can prove is I'm employed here. I have a license. I have a degree. That's the only thing you can prove. That's a what? Why'd you get in the first place? Why are you working with me? What can you do for me? Hey, TSL Nation, let's get it. Welcome back, or welcome to another edition of The Sales Life, bringing life skills for a higher lifestyle. Today, man, what we're going to talk about is your what versus your why. And I know, man, you hear those things. Find your why, man. But I want to go a little bit deeper, because I think it actually, I think I can actually add a little extra spin to this thing for you. I mean, if you want to throw somebody off, man, after you ask them what do they do, ask them why they do it in the first place. Why do you do what you do? And dude, you're gonna hear people or watch people stammer. Hell, if somebody asked you that question, you would probably do the same thing. You'd be like, you'd nut up, because you wouldn't even know how to even answer that. Sinek wrote this. He said, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. And see, dude, you can't skip the line and go straight to what without a compelling why. You can't. See, what is your identity? Why is the reason for your identity? And so when you jump into something like a what, if you've got no reason, man, if you've got no emotion behind what you do, no one buys. No one buys because no one believes you. Because you don't believe in it yourself. And I hear people all the time, man, they want to get into sales. Why? See, people want to do sales. That's a what. Why do you want to do it? See, I know my why in sales. I love the psychology behind the selling part of it. Selling is an absolute art. And I love I love the fact that every day, man, I don't know what I'm walking into. Every day, I have no idea what to expect. I have expectations for myself, but I don't know what's around the corner. I don't know what's right there ahead, which is why I love it. I love playing to the edge of no ceiling and no floor, that the responsibility is all on my shoulders. And yeah, that's a heavy burden at times, man, but I love that why. I love the fact, man, that I didn't have to go to I didn't have to finish and get a degree. I was 18 hours from finishing, man. Life got in the way. And I never ended up going back. And I didn't, the traditional path was to, go back to school to get a degree. And I was like, for what? I like the fact, man, I could get into sales and be more successful than many people who have a 4 or an 8-year degree. Why did I get into the car business? I got into the car business because to right the wrongs of what someone did to me a couple of times. No one helped me buy a vehicle. No one educated me. They saw a young guy and said, here, this is what you can buy. I didn't question anything. I didn't know to question it. I didn't know what questions to even ask. And come to find out, man, not only was I overcharged, man, but I was underpromised as well. So I love to teach. And so I took that FASIC. I didn't want to get into the education system, but I took that same passion that I have of wanting to teach, and I took it into the car business. And not only help customers, but I also help salesmen as well. It's not us against them. It's a we. Customers coming to us to purchase a huge purchase, one of the largest purchases ever. That's an honor for me. So I need to empower, I need to teach my salespeople how to ask the right thought-provoking questions to get customers out of their traditional logic and break apart some of those fears and address those things so that way they can make an educated buying decision. But it won't happen. I can't help you if I don't first help my salespeople break it down. That's that cerebral part. That's why I got into the business. See, people don't buy my what. They buy my why. And dude, I'm so convicted in what I do that it manifests. And it proves what I believe. See, you're not selling any properties because you skipped a line. And you bought a what? And you've got no why. See, you think just because you bought a license to become an agent, just because you bought a license to open up a business, just because you bought a license to be a personal trainer or a massage therapist, you thought the degree, all of those licenses, you thought those were going to bring a specific outcome. So that's what you did. But you've got no emotion. So it doesn't power. There's no power behind it. You want the result of the what. But people aren't buying because you've got no why. So you hope for an outcome, but you've got no belief behind it. Your why, dude, is so important. This is what you want to do. Why do you want to do it? And if your answer is because I want to make a bunch of money, dude, if that's your only answer, yes, sales is a incredibly rewarding business for me. But if I had no why, I would have bounced a long time ago. You want to get into something. You want a what? If your only answer is to make a bunch of money, then when you don't make a bunch of money, when you don't get that outcome, not if, but when, which is probably immediately, because you've got no why, you bounce to another what, which is why you get back into enrolling back into another degree, because you're chasing what, and you've got no why. You're getting another license. You're starting another business. It was just the wrong time for this. No, you're not adjusting the timing. And adjusting the timing is what it takes. Your for what is your why, bro. People buy because of why. Because what is a commodity? See, a car is a what? Why they buy that car in that specific color with those specific options from you is why. A grocery store is a what? Why you drive all the way across town. See, that's the why. And no one is buying or hiring you to be their personal trainer. This is the reason why you can't get off the ground floor of average. And you're wondering why you keep showing these $50,000 fixer-uppers when you desperately want to get to the $500,000 ones. You've got no why. And see, your customers have a stronger why than you do. They know why they're not going to buy from you. Because you have no why in what you do. There's no power. There's no belief. They don't believe you. They don't believe you because it doesn't, you can't prove it. The only thing you can prove is I'm employed here. I have a license. I have a degree. That's the only thing you can prove. That's a what? Why'd you get in the first place? Why are you working with me? What can you do for me? If you could tell me that, why you got into the business in the first place, oh my God, you'll be lethal. A buddy of mine, Elliot Bushnell, is he's got a successful catering business, man. And every day, man, I see him on social media showing his why. I mean, from corporate events to parties to weddings, it's lavish. From the food to the ambience, everything is to the nines and the tens. It's perfect. See, what he does is hard work. It takes a lot. And he probably falls in bed exhausted at night. But he loses himself in his why. He's in love with his why. And because he can prove that in his work, that's why people buy the why. Jordan Paris, a young guy that I listened to, Growth Mindset University. He was sitting and chasing the 4-year degree like everybody else was. And he said, what is all this for? And he aborted that mission. He aborted the traditional thinking and started a podcast, Growth Mindset University. Went after some of the largest names out there, most powerful people in the world. They're sitting there on his show because he brought his why. Why do I have this podcast? Is to teach people things that should have been taught in school, but they weren't. That's his why. People believe in that. They buy off on that because he proves it every day, every podcast, every Monday. Your paycheck is in your what? Your wealth is in your why. Your why is what makes the what worth it. Discover your why in the process. It'll reignite you. It'll reinvigorate you. The reason why you get burned out and keep stopping and starting is because all you're doing is you're working a bunch of what? And you need to recenter and say, why am I doing this? See, that's the reason. That's the emotion behind it. And when we can feel those emotions, we'll buy the why. Remember, never settle. Keep selling your way through life, no matter what. Stay in the sales life.